Okay, and it is clicking. All right, let's talk about two kinds of chords.
Yeah.
Ninth chords and major seven chords. What both of those are what I call push chords. What I mean by that is they push what they're trying to be. The ninth chord is a dominant chord, and it tries to make the dominance really obvious. Sometimes with seventh chords, you can't really tell just how dominant they are. But that ninth chord is screaming for you to go back to the one. That nine note, I don't know the physics of it. You know, Adam Neely's really big on the number of vibrations against the other note and all that stuff. 3 against 2 for the 5 and the 1 notes. I don't know how that works, but all I know is when I hear a 9, that's a screaming deal. There's a bunch of ways to make a 9. I'll show you the most common 3.
Okay.
The most common 3, the blues guys like this. And what that is, it's a combination of 3. It's 3 chords. It's a 9 chord. It's a minor 7 flat 5 chord.
That's what I remember.
And it's a minor 6 chord. Depends on which you want to make the root. And the way that most people make it is with the bar. Like here it's the 5th fret. I'm barring the 5th fret, and I'm putting the pinky on the 2nd string 6th fret, ring finger on the 4th string 6th fret, and that's a D minor 7 flat 5. Also, it's a 9 chord. It is a B flat 9. There's the root if you want it, but most people don't play it. Here at the 3rd fret, it's a G9. C9, 8th fret. The way you can, and there's no root in it, the way you know the name of the chord is the note that your pinky's playing on the 2nd string is the 5th. So that's a G note, so you know the G is the 5th of C, so that's a legitimate C9 chord. That's one way to make them. Another way are the various variations on this guy. You know you can add that 5th and do this, that kind of Stevie Ray type 9. All I would say about that is make sure to arch the hell out of that middle finger. When I hear guys on stage, very often they're trying to hold it kind of flat, and it ends up making a harmonic on the 4th string, and it sounds terrible. So you got to really arch it.
So wait a minute, are you saying that shape could be a minor 7 flat 5 too?
No, because once you add the root, the minor 7 flat 5 goes bye-bye.
Gotcha. The other one works because it's rootless.
It's rootless. It is. So let's say I'm at the 3rd fret and I'm using the Stevie Ray version. That's one way. Another way is we're putting the 9 on top. And then the last way is putting a 5th in the bass. Now once you do that, now you've got, because we got rid of the root, you've got the minor 7 flat 5 and you've got the minor 6. It's a G minor 6, it's a C9, and it is an E minor 7 flat 5. And what we have here is we've got the middle finger on the 3rd fret, 6th string, 5th string open. Well, not open, but blocked, sorry. 1st finger on the 2nd fret, 4th string, E. The ring finger on the B flat note on the 3rd fret, 3rd string. And the pinky on the 2nd string, 3rd fret. That's a D. And like I said, we can use that chord for at least 3 chords. Minor 6, minor 7 flat 5, or C9. E minor 7 flat 5, G minor 6, or C9. Now once we put the root on, it's putting C9 only, and that's fine. Now I have heard people do this, and I guess there are musical situations where it fits. But I've seen people just play a dominant chord with the big dominant chord, and put the pinky on the 1st string and put the 9th there. That is a 9. So if I were going from G9 to C, I guess I've never done it, I don't like it, but I guess there are ways to use that. That's not my kind of playing at all. Now, let's talk major sevens very quickly. Of course, you know the notes. The 9 is 1, 3, 5, flat 7, and 9. 5 notes. We typically only play four notes, so we're probably going to leave out the 1 of the 5. With the major 7, it's just a 4-note chord, 1, 3, 5, 7. You know chords are built in thirds. If we go from the 1 and up a third, we've got the 3. If we go up a third from 3, we get the 5. If we go up a third from 5, we get the 7. They're all 4 frets apart. Well, I say 4 frets. That would be if it was perfect, but let's face it, when you got sharps or flats to deal with, you've got to make your adjustments. When you got C, you move up a third to E. Well, up a third from E is G sharp, but there's no sharps in C, so we back it up to G. The third of G is B, and we go straight to B, and there's our C major 7. There are a lot of ways to play major 7s on the standard tuned guitar. I'm going to start with the 4 that you probably know already. This little A minor shape.
That's fine. Yeah.
Excellent chord. You got this guy. You know that one?
Yeah.
Now this one's really good for the bossa because you can get all that stuff. Because that note on the 6th string is the 5th, it's part of the chord anyway. So you're essentially going. All right, so there's 2. Number 3, I'm not a big fan of this in a rhythm context, but it works well in some situations.
Ipanema.
Well, it's not being used as a major 7, it's being used as a minor chord there.
Yeah, it is. I just think of that as the Ipanema shape.
All right, so and you got the major 7 on the 1st string. So if I were to say on the 2nd fret here, that would be a G major 7. And the root is with the pinky on the 4th string. Those are probably the 3 you know really well. Now let's talk about some that maybe you don't know as well. One of my favorites this chord is interesting because most of the time we think of this chord as a minor 9. You know, you take the minor chord, the 9 chord, and you move the 3rd back a fret, and we get the minor 9. All right, well, let's look at the notes. We'll keep it here at B. I know because you did that song in B. All right, so we've got the B note. You got a G note. Any thoughts on how that's going to play out?
That would be 2 notes in the C. 9.
I know what I'm asking is where is it in
major
B?
7 too. Say again, what's your question?
What role is that note going to play in B? Well, let's play the B major scale and we'll find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait a minute, I did it wrong. Damn it. Jesus. This is a G chord because that's the 3rd in the bass.
Yeah.
Idiot. Okay.
Sorry.
All right, so we've got the 3rd in the bass, B. This is a G major 7. There's the root. There is major 7, F sharp, and that's a D. That's our 5th. That's a good G major 7 with a 3rd in the bass. we were to move this up a fret, we would have a B minor sixth. But if we put it here, that's a good G major 7. I like that one.
It's very lovely.
Now here's one that I truly love. It works well against this. All right, so then we go here and go. It's the same, it's really kind of an inversion with the same note on top of this one we just learned. If I'm at the 5th fret, that's going to be which major 7? Got an A in the bass.
A?
Remember, it's not the root anymore.
That's not the root.
That's the 3rd. That's an F major 7 chord. So, what if we were going to make that same sound, but we wanted the 5th in the bass? That's cool. We've got C, which is the 5th, F, which is the root, E, which is a major 7, and A, which is the 3rd. So we go 5, 1, 3, 7.
So it might be good for me to play some of these shapes and maybe
Okay.
the root.
See, I think that for a lot of years, I really made the mistake of wanting my root in the bass. And about 10 years ago, I figured out that that really puts the singer, or soloist, whoever it is, and the bass player in a lot of a sticky spot. Because for them to sound jazzy and to make the swing quotient happen, they're going to have to do a lot more work. And so I try to do other. Now I can do any chord with all 4 chord tones in it. Like let's say I was making just a 6th chord. Let's say G6. I might do this. There's the 1 in the bass. Here's the 3 in the bass.
This is what you started me on.
Yeah, there's the 5 in the bass. Not on acoustic guitar, it's not.
But you know, I
And
thought
there's
of
the
that.
6 in the bass.
I thought of that lesson as just learning those shapes, but there's other information.
Well, the information is, once you get away from that first one, now we're starting to get more into the swing aspect when we're using non-roots on the bass.
Yeah.
So, what I like on the major 7, the 2 I just gave you, I love this. Now let's talk about what this is. I'm trying to get in the video. It's a 4-note chord. I got the middle finger on the 8th fret, 6th string, that's a C. You got the ring finger on the 8th fret, 5th string, that's an F. I got the first finger on the 7th fret, 4th string, that's an A. And I got the pinky on the 9th fret, 3rd string, that's a E. I love that chord. It's a great major 7. And then, of course, the other one that we just did, I love that one too. Let's talk about that one. I don't know if I gave you the actual nuts and bolts. Got the middle finger on the 7th fret, 6th string. That's a B note. That's the 3rd of our G major 7. Got the first finger on the root, which is on the 5th fret, 4th string. That's a G. It's our root. Got the ring finger on the 7th fret, 3rd string. That's a D. That's our 5th. And the pinky is again playing the major 7. On the 2nd string, 7th fret, that's an F sharp. And if you're desperate to name these things by the root, just go by the first finger on the 4th string. Whatever note that's playing, that's the root. I like this shape a lot. It's just not jazzy.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's not. When I think of that chord, I think of
Whatever, yeah. It's a 12-step, yeah.
what's that beginning?
Chicago.
what I think of, and I mean, I'm not putting it down, it's great, but it ain't Gershwin, you know?
What about, isn't there a major 7 that's shaped like this on the,
You're thinking of this, I think. I love this chord. This is probably my favorite major 7.
okay.
What you're doing here is playing a C major 7 chord, the good old fashioned, you know, the Sharon Colony Wildfire kind of chord.
Right.
And we're gonna make it with our pinky and ring finger, and we're just gonna move it up and use our first finger as the nut. So let's say I'm at the 8th fret. You know this is a C for C major 7. What would it be at the 8th fret? That's F major 7. That's an F note. And let's look at the notes we have at F. I've got the pinky on our root, the F note on the 8th fret, 5th string. Now, if I really want the top string, the low bass string, I can get that. That's a 3rd. That's an A, and that's certainly part of our chord. Most people don't do that, but certainly can. So there's your root. Next, there's another A. That's the 7th fret, 4th string, A note. There's the 4th string, 5th fret. That's a C. That's our 5th. And on our 2nd string, 5th fret, that's the E. That's our major 7. Now, if you don't want to stop on the major 7, some people think that's too corny. Just go another string and hit the A. That's a 3rd. This is where you get something like, I don't know, something like that. That's where that chord comes from. That's a really nice major 7. Now, if you want something on the high strings, the most popular major 7 is this. It's like that. That's the chord you hear in Under the Bridge. I don't want to, you know that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the reverse of this chord, now let's just make sure we know what we're doing. We got index finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. That's an E, that's the root. This is a E major 7 chord. Middle finger on the 4th fret, 3rd string. It's a B, that's our 5th. There's our major 7, D sharp. It's a sharp key, sharp chord. And it's on the 4th fret, 3rd string, ring finger. And then the pinky is playing the 3rd of the chord, G sharp, on the pinky on the 4th fret, 1st string. Now you get another major 7 by going the opposite way, just reversing it. It's a B major 7. So what I'm doing is barring the 4th fret and putting the pinky on the 6th fret, 1st string. That's our major 7 note. 2nd string is D sharp. That's our 3rd. Next string is what? F sharp? No. Yeah, that's our 5th. And that's all we're going to play is those 4. And if you want the root, you can always come over the top. I only really use that one here so I can get the open 5th string. And it's very rare that I use that, but if I'm backing up a singer with no bass player, it's just me and her, I'll do that. Like if I'm doing that song, which I love. So anyway, there's all the major 7s you should need.